I want to talk about one of the most useful tools that I have found for Spanish language learning, and that is Anki. There's a lot of information out there on Anki, and we can get into the details of what makes Anki so effective and why some people love it. Some people say they don't like flashcards, but the truth of the matter is you get in what you put out. There's a lot of ways to make studying with flashcards easier. The power of Anki is that it's a spaced repetition system. Now, we're going to talk more about spaced repetition and why it's so effective. But for today, we're going to not worry about any of that. I'm just going to show you my Anki stats. This is for Chinese right now. I have multiple different decks. I'm working on this single characters deck, listening, and so I did all my cards today. I had 370 cards today. You don't see anything here in due except for a little bit, but it's just some miscellaneous stuff. But yeah, some of these decks are crazy. This one has 3,000 cards. I'm currently 1,000 cards into it. This is the Chinese curriculum, but I have this add-on called the heat map, which I think is one of the best add-ons because it keeps me motivated. I guess it's like the streak in Duolingo. It's not as pretty or gamified, but I still love to see the stats, right? And I love to see that consistency. So basically where it's highlighted the lightest colors, those are the days with the most cards, like 944 cards reviewed on Thursday. June the 5th. What was I doing on that day? That's crazy. Today, you see it's 370. And then if you miss a day, you'll see a little black hole. So very few days missed, which is good. It's good to take some time off every once in a while. In June, I tried to not do my Anki on Sundays. And then I realized it's only like an hour. A lot of times my Anki is 30 to 45 minutes. But that's a very small time investment for a massive return on investment in the long term. But you start getting into that intermediate plateau, this is one of the best ways out of it. I would say it takes about 2 to 3 months of consistent use to really start seeing the benefits of a spaced repetition system, but it will just absolutely skyrocket your vocabulary. One of my main methods of studying and acquiring new vocabulary when I lived in Mexico was constantly adding 20 or 30 new words a day. And those were all just different words that I picked up from context or from hanging out with friends. And I would just go like, hey, wait, stop. That's a great word and I should know that. I would stop for a quick second, add it to my Anki deck, and I'm like, cool. Now I would keep going and get back to the conversation. But then later on at night, I would be constantly studying my Anki deck. And then because I was getting the effectiveness of spaced repetition, I noticed that those words started sticking. If all this sounds a little bit confusing right now, don't worry. We'll get more into spaced repetition later. If you look at my Chinese cards, I have some custom presets, custom CSS and stuff like that I made for these cards specifically. If you just open up Anki and start creating cards, you're not going to get anything like this. I'm actually working on some stuff to create some really nice Spanish deck presets and stuff like that. Maybe put those up and have those available for you if you want them. If you want to check them out, just know for now, spaced repetition is absolutely amazing. It's very effective. It's frequently used by law students, medical students, and Chinese linguists because what do those three people have in common? We have a ridiculous amount of information that we have to memorize, and efficiency becomes critical because there's only so many hours in the day and only so much time to study. Spaced repetition is one of the most effective ways if you know how to use it properly. This is not a substitute for comprehensible input, immersion, or speaking practice, or all the other things. This is a tool that we use in tandem with all of the other modalities of language learning. I'm going to show you how to slowly build these habits up so that this becomes second nature. And I want to emphasize that learning a language, yes, it's going to take a lot of work. It really takes a lot more work than most people think. However, if you make those fun and enjoyable and gamify that in your own way, it can become incredibly enjoyable. I look forward to doing my Anki every day. It's like a game to me. I get a lot of dopamine from it. And it's just great. We're going to progressively build this. All right, I'll see you. This is day 3 of making pots. I'm going to work on some cool presets and some cool pre-made decks and stuff for Spanish to check out, and then some in-depth tutorials for how to get started with Anki, because I know it's not user-friendly. So we're going to fix that. I will see you guys tomorrow in day 4.